Let's be honest. As men, we've heard it time and time again, from friends, from therapists, or even from the women in our lives. A woman needs a man who is stable. And I'm betting most of us are pretty confident we know exactly what that means. We nod, we go home, and we work harder. We climb the corporate ladder, build up the 401k, buy the house, the car, ticking off every box on society's checklist of stability. But then, a moment hits. Maybe it's during a silent argument or when you catch that distant look in her eyes at the end of the day, and a question starts to haunt you. Why? Why do I have the good job, the steady income, and the retirement plan? Yet it's still not enough. Why does she still feel unsettled? Why is she still anxious about the future, as if there's an invisible wall between her and true peace of mind? The truth is, most of us have fundamentally misunderstood the assignment. We've been confusing financial stability with the feeling of safety. One is a tool, the other is an experience. One is the means, the other is the destination. And this simple misunderstanding is why so many men grind their whole lives, amassing a fortune, yet still fail to meet the core emotional need of the woman they love. Today, we're going to decode what safety actually feels like for a woman. You'll see why the bank balance, while important, is actually the easiest part of this complex equation. Before we dive in, let's get one thing straight. This isn't a lecture on materialism, and it's definitely not about labeling women as gold diggers. That's a shallow and lazy take. This is about a deep breakdown in communication, about how our brains have been hardwired differently over thousands of years of evolution. Think back to our ancestors in the caves. In that world, a woman, carrying or raising a child, was at her most physically vulnerable. She couldn't outrun predators. She needed more resources. She needed absolute protection. In that context, a man wasn't just a partner. He was her survival strategy. His ability to provide steady resources meant the difference between life and death for her and the child. Over hundreds of generations, the female brain became programmed to read stability as a biological reflex for survival. Today, even if you live in a high-rise condo with smart locks, that ancient brain is still humming. It's still asking the same old question. Am I truly safe with this man for the long haul? So, the money or the house, they aren't the end goal. They are modern symbols of a primal capability, the ability to guarantee survival. Think of it like this: financial stability is the ground beneath your feet. You would never dare build a dream home on a sinkhole or shifting sand. The ground is the prerequisite. But here is where the disconnect happens. Men think, I bought the land, my job is done. But for a woman, having the land is just the moment she finally catches her breath so she can start building. Men focus on owning the land. Women focus on the feeling of standing on it. She needs to know that the ground isn't going to shake under her feet. Deep down, lasting financial stability is rarely a stroke of luck. It's the byproduct of a specific set of traits: self-discipline, long-term vision, the ability to handle pressure, and, most importantly, consistency between words and actions. Women don't love the money. They love the man behind the ability to create that stability. An erratic man who suddenly wins the lottery doesn't provide safety. On the contrary, a man with a modest income who is steady, has a plan, and is reliable, provides a much deeper sense of security. So why do we keep getting this wrong? Mistake 1. Confusing the tool with the goal. When a man hears "I don't feel safe," his problem-solving brain immediately scans for tangibles. Is it the bills? Okay, I'll just work more overtime. He ignores the emotional layer underneath. That insecurity might stem from her feeling lonely, or a lack of trust in your shared future, not the current bank balance. Mistake 2. Confusing provision with presence. In the past, bringing home the kill was the whole job. But modern women can provide for themselves. What they crave now is emotional presence. They need a partner who can listen and share the mental load. The paradox is, many men spend so much time providing out there that they become absent inside the very home they are trying to protect. You're building the future, but you're losing the present. Mistake 3. Underestimating emotional safety. For a woman, the scariest threats are invisible. The feeling of being abandoned, emotional isolation, or a breakdown in communication. A man can make millions, but if he is volatile, hot-headed, or emotionally shut down, he creates a storm of insecurity. $1 million mansion where you have to walk on eggshells is not a safe home. So, how do you create real safety? The first step is redefining stability. In a woman's eyes, it consists of 3 things. Emotional predictability. When a crisis hits, health issues, family drama, do you stay calm and find a solution, or do you lash out and spiral into despair? Moral certainty. Are your values solid? Can your integrity be bought? She needs to know you won't trade the core of your relationship for a short-term gain. A shared vision. Flexibility. Are you both rowing in the same direction? Do you have the resilience to pivot when life changes the plan? Next, build a multidimensional safety net. Financial safety paired with a shared vision. Emotional safety paired with non-judgmental listening. Communication safety paired with radical transparency. And finally, learn to ask instead of just fixing. When she says she feels unsettled, don't jump into fix-it mode. Ask her, I hear that you're anxious. What specifically is making you feel unsafe right now? Is it our finances? Is it our connection lately? Or is it where we're headed in the future? A patient question is worth more than any paycheck. A woman's sense of safety cannot be bought. It is built brick by brick with the most precious and fragile material on earth, trust. And that trust is built in 10,000 tiny moments. How you keep the smallest promises, how you stay cool when the news is bad, and how you always stay in her corner. Your financial stability shows her you have the capacity to build a future. But your character stability is what makes her want to build that future with you. Be the man she can close her eyes with, put her hand on your chest, and trust completely. Whether there's a financial storm or an emotional one outside. Because once she has that feeling, everything else is figure-out-able. If this resonated with you, or if you've felt that invisible wall in your own relationship, despite doing everything right, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below. How do you balance the drive to provide with the need to be present? Your perspective could be exactly what another man in this community needs to hear today. If you found value in this deep dive, please hit the like button and subscribe. It helps us reach more men who are navigating these same challenges. And if you know someone who's grinding 60 hours a week to build that 401k, but might be losing the connection at home, share this video with him. Let's help each other build stronger, safer foundations for the ones we love. Thanks for watching. Now, go have that conversation. Not about the money, but about the trust. And I'll see you in the next one.